Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ay, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ay, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. So we are live for another Ordinal hour, guys. This is going to be amazing. This is our first one during the day. We're going to start doing these every single day. So get ready for that. We don't have a time for that yet. We're kind of getting a feel for this 11:30 hour on the East Coast where I am. And we're going to kind of adjust it to where we see what you guys are into. So please comment, put in the comments. If you guys want us to do 11:30, comment. If you guys want us to do it 9 a.m., comment it. Just the more feedback we get, the more we'll know what you guys want and the more we can accommodate. But let's get the show started because we have a lot of really cool things to talk about. So without further ado, let me bring in my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy? Oh, you're on mute.
Typical, right? Like our first time to go live during the daytime, and I have it on mute. Anyways, yeah, man, what's going on?
Not much, man. How's your week so far? Bitcoin almost hit at 69K, bro.
Yeah, well, it did actually hit 69K, but I don't think it got to 69,420. And I think that's where, some people say it hit the all-time high. I feel like it literally tagged it, and then now it took a dump. Because we've been in overbought territory for a long time, man, and that momentum was just too back to back to back. And I think a correction here is actually healthy. I don't think it's going to be a super deep one, but we'll kind of have to see here, right?
For our new listeners who don't understand what overbought means, could you explain?
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to pull up my screen too, so I can kind of talk about this using the chart. You can see here. So I'm on the 15-minute here. Let's pull up the hourly because I feel like that's more of a fair kind of breakdown. So this indicator right down here is called the stochastic RSI. And these two ranges above the dotted line, so this one above it is overbought territory. And then the one below the dotted line is oversold territory, right? So it's actually, we were in overbought for a very long time. You can see here, starting in what was that, March 3rd. So that was 2 days ago. We started to kind of creep up here, and we'd lasted all the way until today, and then it started to dump down. So now we're in oversold, but it bounced up already out of it. So it'll be interesting to kind of see. You can see how it correlates too, right? Overbought, we just green right up, and then oversold, you can see the right down there. So it's pretty simple concept.
So what do you think happens next?
Man, so I think that you have to kind of throw out the traditional TA with this, because we've seen that the ETF buy pressure really pushed this price all the way from February up until now, and we're seeing a healthy correction. But that buy pressure from the ETF, I don't think that's going to stop, right? So for me, I just feel like the pullbacks are going to be less impactful, but they will be there because that's just a natural. If you don't have any pullbacks at all, it's just super unhealthy. And I think that the pullbacks are just going to be smaller. So I see, this pullback possibly getting to maybe 63, 64, that range, and then kind of carrying on, upwards. Maybe not as hyper aggressive as it's been until we get to the halving, but we'll kind of see. What about you?
Yeah, I just don't think you're bullish enough. I think that I think we're gonna bounce right out of here, and I think we'll be right back over 69,000 tomorrow. I think I truly believe that. I think that smart money does not buy tops. They buy dips, and I think this dip is going to get bought up, and I think 65,000 it will be now, and then 66 in a few hours, 67 by the end of the day. And I think we kind of stall overnight, and then around 9:30 tomorrow morning, I think we start popping again. I think we see 70,000 by potentially tomorrow afternoon, if not maybe Thursday. But I think that we're going to see 70K by the end of the week. And I think that 70K, we ripped through 70K. I don't think 70K lasts very long until we hit 80.
Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much how it's been, right? Like we've
Yeah.
been seeing that type of activity to where anytime there's a pullback, it just gets eaten up really quickly. And then you had a lot of the people that have been in the space for like years. They're more like broad crypto influencers and stuff, and they were
Yeah.
telling you that they sold. I think it was in like late January, and they were saying this is going to be a pullback, and it never happened really, and actually ended up propelling it up. I think those people actually probably buy the bags now, because
Yeah.
they're like, what, like we made our missteps in January, and they have a lot of those people have a lot of liquidity, a lot of capital, right? So this could be just a little bump in the road, and then like you said, kind of onward and upwards.
Yeah. Like I said before, I think we're over 100K by having. I think we have a little dip after having back down to about 70, 80, and then we're full send all summer. I think all summer is just going to be a grind up. I think this time we don't see big dips. I think we see these $5,000 pullbacks, but I think that's it. I truly
Hmm.
believe that we're just going to grind up the entire summer and then grind up in the fall with these 10% dips here and there, but with a full send grind up. And I think that, Bitcoin's going to take everything with it. Right now on the dips, you see a lot of the ordinals. We'll get into that later, but we see a lot of ordinals dipping. And I think once Bitcoin really starts attacking that all-time high again, you're going to see people wanting to take profits into the ordinals and so on. But right now, I think people are trying to get back into Bitcoin for the grind up to make that 10% gain.
Yeah, that was kind of weird how that happened, right? Because like as Bitcoin was just like really running hard, I would say like the past like week, 2 weeks,
Yeah,
the ordinals were actually running hard against it, right? Like
yeah.
you had node monkeys jumping up to like I think 0.86 or something crazy like that.
I think they hit point 0.9. Honestly, it was so
Did
close.
they?
If not, it was so
Yeah.
close.
And then you just like some of these other ones were trying to get going. They didn't necessarily get going hard, but then eventually like quantum cats did pull up, and the frogs started to kind of pull up, but then you had nat cats that came in and some other, like the puppets always have been like
Yeah,
strong the past like 2 months, month and a half. So that was interesting because I think like there was a couple people you were in that camp that thought like everything was gonna go up against the dollar, but not
yeah,
Bitcoin. They kind of did the
yeah.
opposite on that. So like what do you think happened there?
Well, I wouldn't say opposite because it definitely went up against the dollar. It destroyed the dollar, but
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it
yeah, for
definitely
sure.
it definitely kept up with Bitcoin. It actually beat
Increased, it
Bitcoin
went up
too.
against, yeah.
No monkeys did what 3x since I want to say the start of February, right?
Yeah.
So it was pretty insane, if not a 4x. So yeah, especially when it got to point 0.8. I just think that a lot of Ethereum guys are finally understanding the power of digital artifacts, and I think that some of the bigger NFT guys are seeing these are very undervalued because they are. Even at 0.78 being the number one collection, very undervalued.
Yeah.
These need to be between right now. That's about what, $50,000.
Right at 50, yep.
Yeah, so I think that's very, very undervalued. I think whatever the top collection is by market cap, these should be a lot higher. Obviously, you probably have, Ordinal MaxiBiz sitting at 1.0. And congratulations, by the way, you won our bet. You said Ordinal MaxiBiz. I
Let's
definitely played
go.
the underdog role though, and the
Yeah.
underdogs almost came out to win it. But you took the favorite, and you won. So congratulations on that. That was pretty cool to see that contest, and then they went up to 1.25, dude.
Yeah.
Insane.
No, I figured at one point, like maybe when node monkeys would get close to that 0.1 or
Yeah.
one full Bitcoin, that like the OMB community was like, nah, we ain't letting this happen. And it
Yeah.
really just pushed over the line, which is good to see because like we've always known that OMB has that strength in terms of
Hmm.
the price.
Yeah.
But if we're talking about market cap, node monkeys was like right like knocking on $600 million market cap, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty crazy to see that. This early but at the same time, like you said, it is the top collection. And I do also agree that like I think like these other chains are starting to be like, man, like the Bitcoin NFT or digital artifact and sector is really kicking butt, and we if you can't beat them, join them kind of situation,
Yeah.
right?
100%. So I want to play a little game, and I haven't told you about this yet, but it's called Bullish or Bearish, and I'm gonna go through it. I think the first four of these are gonna be I know your answer, but I'm just going to basically give you an ordinal, and you're gonna tell me because
You're gonna give me
bullish or
one?
bearish.
All right, let me
Not
send you
give
my
you.
address. I'm just kidding.
I'm gonna tell you an ordinal, and you're gonna tell me bullish or bearish. But I'm not asking for this year. I'm saying for next year because a lot of this stuff's going to disappear. There's going to be new projects inside the top 12, and when I'm saying bullish or bearish, I mean for the top 12. Will these be here in 1 year inside this top 12? I'm going to start with no monkeys, but I think I know your answer. Bullish or
Yeah,
bearish?
I mean, I'm extremely bullish on node monkeys.
Okay.
Not just because of there's other chains involved, but if you are an ordinal maxi, even at heart, then you might not like the way the team handled things, but you gotta appreciate the inscription numbers with them, right? I mean,
Yeah,
we're
for
talking
sure.
about the sub 100K. Yes, a couple of them trickle over 100K, but that is a big factor that kind of plays,
Wow.
in their
109.
favor. Yeah, in their favor, for longevity, in my opinion. So,
Somebody's flooring a 109 right now.
what do you mean?
You see that? That's
Nuh-uh.
like number 109 out of 10,000.
Oh, the low number in the collection. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Someone's probably gonna buy that right now.
I know.
That you highlighted it.
Man,
But
if we weren't online, I might take a stab at that because that's. But then, okay, Nat Cats inside the top 12 in 365 days from today. Bullish or bearish?
that's a hard one. I need a little bit more data to be able to
Okay,
determine that, right? Like I feel
you
like
got to
they've
give me an answer.
okay, I'll give you an answer, but I feel like they've had a great start.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say bullish, and the reason
Okay.
why is because they're the first of the whole non-arbitrary token ecosystem to really come out and be popular and stuff like that. So I'm bullish on it.
That's a good answer. Bitcoin puppets. I think I know your answer for this one. But 365 days. Will they be in the top 12? Bullish or bearish?
Man, that's I gotta say bullish because their community is
Okay.
crazy as hell. But that's
Yep.
yeah.
Okay. We'll go down to their derivative. Bitcoin Maxi Biz. 365 days. Bullish or bearish in the top 12?
I think short term, yes, bullish, but 365 days, I don't think so. No,
Okay.
I just like the derivatives for OMB, they just don't last that long. They might have a resurgence, but I just don't see them being in the top 12.
All right. What about the Quantum Cats? 365 days. Bullish or bearish in the top 12?
I'm bullish because of the people behind it, the team, not just the Udi and Eric, but like their team is way more bigger, and they're going to be at all these conventions, right? So
Yeah.
that's why.
All right. R6. Bullish or bearish?
Bearish in 365 days. I don't
Okay.
think that I don't know. I just don't think they're going to be in the top 12.
All right. The Frogs.
I'm bullish. Actually, I feel like this is the biggest value play here.
Yeah.
And it's been like undervalued for this leg up. And so I actually acquired another one. I just feel like this is such a strong value play. Look,
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but if ordinals are true to the ordinal core, then this definitely will have its heyday again.
Why do you think the Frogs have been undervalued? Because I agree with you. They're definitely undervalued.
I think that there's so I think there's people that didn't get into the frogs early, and they came from other chains. They weren't in the ordinal ecosystem originally, and they have a lot of firepower, and so they're throwing firepower. Let's be honest, the two collections that we're seeing this with is Node Monkeys and Puppets,
Yeah.
right? So the Node Monkeys and Puppets have a lot of ETH guys, Solana guys, other people. There's definitely like a good chunk of ordinal people and Bitcoin people in those, but man, like it really kind of tells you like how strong the ETH NFT sector was. But now they realized, okay, look, the Bitcoin digital artifact narrative is just too strong, and we gotta be a part of it. But we missed the free mint with the frogs, and we missed this. Let's create our own success kind of situation.
Yeah. And I think we're on the same page with that one. Ordinal Maxi Biz. Top 12. Because this actually fell out of the top 12 for a little while and came rampaging back with the orange eyes. Does this stay in the top 12?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be the king. I
Okay.
really do. In terms of like individual like price point per,
Yeah.
I do think it is. It's to me like this is our CryptoPunk because like CryptoPunk, everybody's like, man, that art is horrible. It's this and that, and that's what I'm seeing here with OMB. You know, it's like, look, people. Maybe if you're like super into art and you get really deep and you can see past this not great, you know, art here, you say, oh, this is actually great art because of, you know, I just don't see that, but because it has that like kind of, it's more about culture actually. Bitcoin culture, the ordinal culture, and because it like encompasses all of that, I think that it will be the premium like on an individual basis. I think Node Monkeys as a collection wins out market cap wise, but in terms of, you know, floor price, I think OMB continually stays the top.
Yeah, and I think I know your answer for the back end here, but
Yeah,
Bitclips.
no.
Okay. See, this
None of those.
derivative.
You can just say none of those. I mean,
Okay.
like
These
I feel like
actually look pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
those look cool, but like the puppet derivatives are getting like really ridiculous now. It's
I
like
agree.
those fungible token protocol projects
Yeah.
from other EVM chains last
Yeah.
cycle. At the end, when they were just reaching, they would literally create a new token based out of their previous token and another
Yep.
one and another one. And that's what I'm feeling about the puppet. So the original
Yep.
puppets, Bitcoin puppets, I think those do well. Opium will probably succeed because of the puppets, which is
Yep.
backwards, but and then yeah, that's, I think those two are out of that ecosystem. Did you see that
Yeah.
puppet toy though, the BRC 420?
No, I did it. Is it legit?
Yeah. I mean, I believe so. It's really cool looking. It reminds me of those pops. Remember those pops?
What is it called? Puppet toy?
Let me see. I know Block had like a link on here.
Let's see. Nothing with puppet. Maybe it was in the latest.
Yeah, it like minted out really quick.
Did it? Oh, how do we miss that?
I don't know, man. But it looks really cool. It looks like one of those pops, though.
Okay.
I'm trying to find it real quick, but yeah. If I find
Mr.
it, I'll
Puppet
put.
420? No, that's not it. All right, but yeah.
Oh yeah, I found it.
What is it called?
It's called. I think it's Box O Chaos. Here, I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Yeah, it's actually really cool looking, man. But this is another thing, man. This is like the puppet community, dude. So you see how it looks like it looks like those Funko Pops, you know? And this
I
is
want
something that's
one.
pretty,
There's only 300 holders. That's scary.
that is pretty scary, yeah. But you know, if they're smart, then they'll distribute these out really well. But you know, this is probably something that you're going to be able to put in your like, you know, metaverse game on your shelf or something, you know. But it does look like those Funko Pops, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, the floor is actually really cheap. It's only 22
Yeah,
bucks.
really. Yeah, I want to know a little bit more about those though, you
Yeah.
know, before I started degenning and like sweeping up those left and right. But from
Yeah.
like a 3D perspective, they're cool as hell, man. I like
I
them.
know, man. They're awesome. I wish the supply was a little lower. I feel like 3,000 is really pushing it. I feel like if these were like 300 or like three or something like that, they would do really well, like a few $1,000s. Because they'd be rare. This makes them like so common
Yeah.
in our area. But yeah, we'll jump back to Magic Eden. So there's a couple of few things. So what about, do you think the Bitcoin whales ever get back in the top 12?
Oh man, that's tough, dude. Because I have a soft spot for the whales, and you know, Toshio's such a good dude and a good founder, really. But there's something that seems to be like holding the whales back. I don't know what it is. I feel like they should have been in the top 12 several times in the past, and they did jump in there, and then they'll quickly come out, you know. And so I don't know what it is. Like I said, you know, they have the community, they have, you know, it's very similar to the frogs in terms of the art. I think the concept is cool. Like, who doesn't want to be a Bitcoin whale? You know, I thought honestly that they were going to take off like hard.
I did too.
And so it, you know, it's been a little bit disappointing in terms of floor price, but their community has been awesome. Tosio's been awesome. Maybe that changes, but for me, if I were to lay a bet right now, I'd say no. But I would say this. They, for the 24 hour, they could make a presence, but then they'll do what they've always done. They'll bounce back out.
Gotcha.
And I'm a holder. I have several whales. So.
Yeah. Well, this is the part of the show where we do roll call. We got 2 new members today. Shout out Antenna.
Hey, I think he just renewed. He's been a
Okay,
supporter. Yeah.
gotcha. And then new player, I guess he renewed as well because I remember seeing his
I'm
name.
not sure. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So appreciate that.
Shout out Varying Viewpoint. Shout out E-Buck.
Let's
Shout
go.
out Ordinal Shark. Shout out Nezzy. Shout out Cherry Master. Johnny Utah. Nezzy again. I never say his name right.
Lucian. Yeah. Rivera.
Lucian. Shout out my boy Danny. Danny always supporting. Shout out Danny, man. We absolutely fans of yours, bro. We got TKO 401. He goes, we are not bullish enough because we are not, bro. We are not bullish enough, bro. We're not bullish enough. Let's go.
We got to make a t-shirt with that.
Not bullish enough. We got Estaville. We got John Collector in the house. We got Killian Hurley, Green Man, Carnivore. We'll get back to this. I have no idea what you're talking about here. But then we have Akora, Jameson, Hudspin and Son. And then we got the king of all kings, the man, the myth, the legend, bitmap.tech, always with the support. We support him 100%. Love that man right there. Shout out Steamy J, always supporting. Wendy Yam, Ant-Man, and then the king again. You guys are too bullish. Whoa, Jeff. Let's see Bitcoin back to 30K. No.
That would be so detrimental. I feel like if it dropped to 30K, like all those clients that like BlackRock and everybody's been selling, they'd be like, what did I just do? And then you have the Vanguard ex-CEO being like, I told you so. But yeah, I don't see 30K. But hey, I think 30K, a lot of people that are pro Bitcoin would probably want to see that so they can get in again or buy more up.
That's the thing is like if we ever hit 50K or 40K again, people are gonna be like, oh, here's my chance. I missed it. I'm not gonna miss this opportunity. There's gonna be there's so many people on the sidelines who seem to really messed up, and they're the same people who are shorting right now and getting wrecked after wrecked after wrecked. And we just keep blowing at them, and then they get lucky with that 69K down to 65K. Is it still there? Do you have still your chart up?
Yes. Yep, I got it. Actually, let me switch it. But yeah, you have people like Gareth, right? Like that right now. He's enjoying a little bit of a win, but like he really needs this to like dump down to like probably 58 or something to kind of, he was probably just adding to his position, right? So he wouldn't get liquidated. But that's gonna be stressful at some point. You're like, oh my god, like I got to keep adding. But it's at 65,250 right now, so it's definitely holding the 65 range. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see if it breaks down below this resistance point right here. If it breaks down below 65, who knows? We might be at 63. But it's definitely holding here for a short period of time so far.
Yeah.
And also like it's been back and forth between 66 and 68 like the past 3 days. It just like it was like almost like when it touched 69, it was like a tag. Like I said, it tagged it and it was like whoop, like a big red candle down. So
yeah, man. This actually takes us into our first topic of the day. But what do you guys feel? How do you guys feel that many SECs, meaning centralized exchanges, are connected with Merlin now? You can use them as a bridge for much faster bridging. Now, I was just telling Yagobi that. I was telling him that we could use Voya to get, because we're trying to figure out ways to move stuff around. And I was just saying we could use Voya to send these exchanges and kind of do it that way, man. But I am so bullish on Voya right now. Absolutely insane run up. I've been holding since the free mint, so definitely have taken profit, because when something runs from 39 cents to $6, you'd be stupid not to take some profit there. But
yeah, and you can see it's been just freaking ripping. It's at like $6.72, 67.2 million market cap. I believe it's a 10 million supply, but I mean, let's be honest. Let's just call it what it is. It's the best performing BRC20 at the very moment.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing performing better than Voya right now.
Yeah.
And so I just that's got to be super bullish for Merlin Chain and all the Merlin Chain partners to see this. And this was the vision, right? The vision was like, hey, let's support Bitcoin layer one assets. Let's get those flexible. Let's get some liquidity in here to get them to be able to be pushed up. And that's exactly what we saw verbatim in terms of the plan being laid out. Is that not correct?
Yeah, 100%.
And so it's like, what's the next, Bitcoin layer one asset that's gonna take off like this on Merlin chain? We got bitmaps, we got all the BRC 420 stuff that like I'm super bullish on. But then you have some BRC 20s that people are like, man, I've been waiting forever for there to be movement on like Honk, on MMSS and all the goes, and here's the opportunity. And I think layer one will be like a lot of activity too as well, but that it's just not happening right now. So
I agree. So Jeff did say we'll get to stick BR in a second, but Jeff did say you can bridge Merlin BTC to SEX. Do you know which one? I know OKX probably, right? I can't.
I would imagine it'd be OKX because there's a big partnership there. I know. But you have KuCoin now. You have Gate.io. So those are three that like are dipping their toes in Merlin BRC 20s, right? And so it's going to be interesting. Like the BTC from Merlin to centralized exchange. If that's something that's super fast, that people are going to use that. At the end of the day, like people talk about all these technical aspects and all this stuff, but you're going to see the highest like total value and activity on chains that have the best user experience, in my opinion.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree.
So,
all right. Yeah. So he said it's not on MEXC, so I just checked for that. But he said Gate.io has it, so that's huge. And then he says some people bridge Merl BTC to Gate. Yeah, I mean, I've never used Gate.io. I don't know if you ever used it, Yago. Definitely.
No, I haven't, but
out.
I know it's kind of like, well, I feel like they're definitely like heavily used, probably more outside the US, but it's a top exchange. So KuCoin, the cool thing about KuCoin is that KuCoin's like MEXC in terms of the leverage and trade. They'll give you leverage and margin on newer tokens, which is crazy. So I don't know if there's anything happening with Merl, but man, Merl actually. Okay, he's talking about Merl. Sorry, I thought he was saying Voya. Wow. So Merl, Merlin chain, maybe Merlin chain. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, cool.
Yeah, man. So jump back up to, we had a comment up here from Stick. He said, could see the price into the 30s if leverage gets flushed, may happen quick. See, that stuff not going to happen anymore, man, because of the ETFs. There's too much Bitcoin in the ETFs now for something like that to happen. BlackRock would just buy it up if it gets anywhere near that. They're not going to let their clients feel that, because then that's bad for them. So we will never see something like that ever again, now that BlackRock is in there, because they don't want to scare off their clients, because they're making good fees from this. And on top of that, they bought real cheap and they're selling them this Bitcoin very cheaply. So
100%. So right now there's a war going on between the market makers of these centralized exchanges. They're learning very quickly now that they're not able to manipulate the Bitcoin price outside of range, right? So 5,000 here, 5,000 there, that's fine. Like that, they'll let that slide because that's actual like healthy little corrections. But when you're talking about 20K to 30K, unless it's like very, very warranted in terms of like an end of a bull market cycle or something, like a huge black swan, like huge, even then, like they're going to try to stop as much bleeding as possible. Cause like Shizzy said, it's the biggest argument point is they are not going to lose the trust of their high-end clients, because if you do that's how they, that's how they make their bread and butter. Also buying each other's share of each other's company too. But anyways.
You got to remember who's buying, right? It's like the Rothschilds. It's the big guys now, right? Because they all feel safe, stuff like that. That's who the clients of BlackRock is. You're not a client of BlackRock unless your net worth is in the billions, or hundreds of millions. Like they're not taking you on as a. You can get in pools and stuff like that with like representatives, but you're not getting actual BlackRock like quality stuff. I don't think so. I mean, you can buy it on ETF, but I'm talking about like the back end stuff that they're doing.
Yeah, I mean, and it doesn't have to be like the huge names, because there's a lot of smaller like partners and syndicates and stuff that are like small, like, but they're not small to us. They trade like
Yeah.
hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Like, and those are the ones that also like that, they just have a lot more buying power.
Yep.
So I think what the interesting part will be is like whenever TradFi gets into, because I think they're gonna like really try to come in and dominate crypto in like the next 5 to 10 years, and it's
Yeah.
gonna be like the shorting, right? Whenever the shorting happens, just like they did in TradFi, that's whenever I think like whenever it's like manipulated, but they're all like in cahoots, right? Like they're like, okay, like
Yeah.
this lower hedge fund or fund manager is in trouble. So then like this, they make a call, just like the movie. What was the movie called?
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot the
Big
name of
Short.
it, but no. The recent one about the GameStop.
Oh,
That
Dumb Money.
Yeah, dumb money, just like that, right? So I think that happens eventually in crypto,
Yeah.
because they're heavy hitters. Let's be honest,
Yeah.
trillions of dollars. So
100%. All right, all right. Danny says high 40s, maybe. No way, 30s. Yeah, I agree, Danny. If we ever hit 30s again, I'll actually put my my math on the line here. If we ever hit the 30s K Bitcoin again, I'll do the hot chip challenge again live on here. If we ever hit the 30K number,
you guys
39K,
heard it.
whatever, I promise. But that will never happen. So because you guys are not bullish enough, and I'm nowhere near bearish enough. So, all right, guys. What do you want to do in our next topic here?
Let's go over here. Win runestones, guys. $1,200 per runestone. I think it was actually 1,400. I might have mismarked
Wow.
that, but 1,200 per runestone in whale chat OTC. So this is crazy, dude. So like 112,000 runestone, because there's 112,000 wallets, or a little over or something like that, is being looked at, they're looking to airdrop these two. And if they're already like $1,200 to $1,400 in OTC right now, and they're just basically acquiring wallets, they're just making sure they're checking if the wallet qualifies, and then they're selling their wallet, I guess seed phrase or something. I'm not sure how it works, but it's crazy. Like, what does it start off as on Magic Eden? Like freaking 1,800, two grand. What do you think?
So what happens in that situation if I sell you my wallet and then just beat you to the punch of the runestone?
I don't know, man. Like
Because we
maybe like
both now share the seed phrase. You're taking my word that I'm not going in and stealing it off you.
yeah. I
Unless
don't know if
it's
unless you can like change your seed phrase, which you can't, right? So like I don't
no.
know how that would work. This is this is stuff on Twitter too, Twitter's timeline.
Yeah.
So don't take this as word as
I mean, don't get me wrong, dude. It does suck. My plan is like foiled if that's the case, the 1,200 per runestone. But I have 7 runestones coming to me. So I mean, that's almost 8 grand in airdrops. Like it's airdrop season, boys. Get your hats ready because they're dropping bricks on us.
yeah.
That would be insane, bro. That would be insane. I'm
So
curious, how many runestones you guys getting? Put it in the chat. How many runestones you guys are getting? I know you guys been here forever. I know you guys got like 7, 8 wallets. Put how many runestones you guys have in the chat here.
check this out though. This is from Farmer Joe. He's been in the community for a while, since that first run up in Ordinals. But like he said, assembling the Runestone Wells group chat, aka the Stone Cabal, must have received 20 plus in airdrop allocation. DM me. This was February 19th, 2024. Wow. So this has been happening for a while, right? In terms of like this chat. And so dude, this could be pretty crazy. I don't know, man. It's definitely making me want to be like, should I even like keep my strategy? Which I'm definitely gonna keep it there until I see what secondary is showing. But
my strategy is the same. I have a strategy. I did tell it to the members, but I'll just slip it here for a second. I'm waiting about an hour after the first one is listed and first one is bought. And then I wait about an hour, and then I just start DCAing in. And that's a plan that it has worked for me for a while with airdrops. And I'm going to continue using it until it no longer works. And I wait about an hour, and then I start buying. DCAing, I don't go all in. I'll buy for another like hour or two as people get their wallets open and start taking that money. Because normally what happens is you see a 3-4x pretty early, pretty soon. It happened for me on I want to say, yeah, on Voya. Voya was amazing for me. I started DCAing around 47 cents and went all the way down to about 39 cents. And then 2 days later, it was $1.50. That was one of the best trades I ever made in my entire life. And I went hard on that one. I went heavy. So that really, really got me to where I am today. And then, I did the same thing with Jupiter on Solana. I just played the airdrop there. I did the same thing with Arbitrum. I played that airdrop there. As soon as people start claiming and dumping, I waited 1 full hour and then bought that and then made really good money on that as well. But that's just trade. That's just trading. I'm not a trader, guys. I'm an investor. But in situations like that, I do take the situation by the horns and try to get a few extra coins. But with Voya, it was different. Voya, I actually held that all the way up to most of that up to about $3. Took some profit there, and then recently took some more profit at $6. But that was just my plan from the beginning. And I like to do a rebalancing. Once something gets too big in my portfolio, I like to rebalance. And I think you guys should definitely think about that as well. Not financial advice, do what makes you happy. But for me, I feel uncomfortable when something gets to about 15 to 20% of my portfolio. But
yeah. Well, I mean, here's the crazy part. If it's something that has momentum and legs, like Runestones is kind of like the node monkeys in terms of like hype, right? Not bad. People aren't pissed about Runestones like they were node monkeys, but nevertheless, both were really hyped up. And node monkeys actually 2-3x, and then I had an entry where I was like, okay, like I'm either going to get in or I'm going to forget about it. And I was like, I think it's going to go up much higher from here. So I took that risk of already being at a 3x and look where it is today. Right. So, I feel like there's like, it doesn't have to be that hard in terms of how just don't, like, this is not financial advice either, of course, but like I feel like I used to be like an overthinker in these situations, right? But if it has that momentum, the hype, the legs, then I stuck with my gut with node monkeys and it worked out, right? So
100%.
we'll see. And it's not, everyone's not going to be like that every single situation. You're going to lose some, but it's just like that upside opportunity sometimes is really large.
100%.
So.
I completely agree with you, sir. Where should we go next here? All right, this is pretty big. We'll touch on this. So French Montana, Coke boy, creation of kings everywhere, boy. He is in Ordinals, guys. He's here, and he's not like extracting. Basically, he's not here to take your money like the normal celebrities things do. He's here to promote. So he gets promotional money from his music label, and he's using that money to promote his album. And he's doing that by basically bringing us some really cool stuff. There is multiple chapters to this, so there is eventually a business that is assembling towards the back end of the chapters. But this first chapter is just to give back to the community and just to say how much he's here and he's one of us. And this is really cool because it's a 5,000 PFP collection. It's a completely free mint. The team's taking, I think, 300 of that, and of so if there's 4,700 will be airdrop to whitelist components. So how do you get that airdrop? So they launched it yesterday, and I wish they would have gave us a little bit more time with it so we could have kind of promoted it before we went live with it. But it went live, and there's nothing we can do about it now. We have to really push forward with this because I think it's going to be phenomenal. But if you went to ord.io, and I can actually do that,
it's still in that number 1 spot.
It's not ever going to leave.
It's pretty crazy.
Too big. So this is it right here. There is 40,000 comments on this thing. Holy crap. So in order to get the PFP whitelist, you have to do 2 things. And I don't know if the 4,700 is complete yet, because as you see, you need your username to be mac and cheese, and you need the comment to be mac and cheese to qualify. And how you get your username to be mac and cheese, you go up here to go to my profile, and then you just change your name to, like, right here. You'll go to edit, and then you'll change your name to mac and cheese, just like I did here, and I will capitalize the M here, and then you save it. Right? I think the save is at the bottom here. I'm not going to share that on Twitter. And then I'll go back to where I was. Yeah, man. So yeah, I
So if
did.
you
I don't know if
if
you've
you
seen that. I
if
did.
you
I
if you comment
I
on there, it
inscribed
says okay, there it is.
I inscribed our logo. See that?
Yep, I see.
And
Yep, I see it.
bunch of this crap. I inscribed this as well. Shizzy online,
Nice,
baby.
nice, nice,
But
nice.
yeah, so going back to here. So yeah, so you'll need to you can see a lot of people didn't do it. And reason we did this because we're trying to get bots out of here. So we think that these are all bots. We think that every single person that does not have mac and cheese 5 as their display name here
Username. Yep.
is username. Well, display name it's called. But the display name is a bot. So you need to have mac and cheese 5 and mac and cheese 5. So guys, there actually might be time because you can see a lot of these bots here they're not paying attention and they're not putting their thing in. It's like Bansky, sorry, bud, but you need to be mac and cheese 5 for a little while. You do not qualify. You only qualify if you have mac and cheese 5 and mac and cheese 5. So that way, when we're ready to do the whitelist, we can click here and we can come here. We can get your wallet address just like that. But it needs to be mac and cheese 5 and it needs to be mac and cheese 5. So these people all do not qualify. I want to say about 70% do not qualify for the airdrop, guys. You need to have mac and cheese 5 as your display name and your comment. But so I think you still have time if you haven't done this yet.
Yeah. And so this is a free mint, a free PFP mint, right?
Yeah.
So, yep.
And
Awesome.
I kind of like what they did here. They weren't allowed to, because the record label owns this image. They weren't allowed to post the image, but you are allowed to post the CD that you
Photo.
buy. You buy the CD, so you are allowed to post the photo of it. So that's pretty cool. So we are kind of working around some music stuff. And you guys do not know, me and Yagobi are advisors on this project.
Yeah,
We're kind
to
of helping
clarify.
French out. Just to clarify, we are taking like a little bit of payment to kind of help them out and advise them. And this was our idea. We told them, hey guys, we think Ord.io is a great idea. And I thought Leonidas was gonna be pissed, but he took it as he seemed to like it, which was awesome. And I'm actually really glad about that because I did feel bad after the site crashed. I wasn't expecting it. I guess I should have. That was probably my decision. Bad decision by me not thinking. I didn't think it was get that hyped that quick, but it did.
Now, how
And
long was it
crashed
down
the site.
for, though?
About 15 minutes to a half hour.
Okay, so they were
It
able to
wasn't
get it back up.
crazy. Yeah, they were getting back up pretty quickly. I think once people started putting their stuff up, they were leaving. So it wasn't like they were staying here. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
but I think this is a great way to do whitelist. And Leonidas even said they're up in their infrastructure to handle inflows like this. So,
Yeah.
guys, in the future, if you do a whitelist, this is a great idea to avoid bots. But make sure they change their display name.
Yeah, because I mean, like, there's definitely people that are just trying to gamify the situation, as always. I mean, that's the hard part. Even in ordinals, like obviously this happens all the time on the EVM side. Like, it's no way to really get around it. But like on the ordinal side, at least like there's some things because it's still a little bit clunky on Bitcoin. So there's some things to try to avoid the bots trying to just gamify and not being fair. So I think this is going to be really cool. I want to speak to this a bit. You can see French Montana actually bridged all of his cats, quantum cats and Bitcoin frogs to the Merlin layer 2 seal. Look, like Shizzy mentioned, this is kind of like more of an opportunity for like the being first too, right? Like for him and his team, because there isn't a mainstream artist that has inscribed anything on the Bitcoin blockchain in terms of like the music industry and stuff like that. So look out for stuff like that because there's stuff that's going to be awesome that's coming from this whole project. And that there's one thing that Shizzy and I definitely want to make sure that happens since we are, like he said, got brought on as advisors. We want to make sure like the soul of ordinals, the culture of ordinals like comes through this whole thing, right? Because we know like past cycles there's always been like celebrities that come and go, but this is something like it could be it's like a first, it's a history thing, what I mean? It could go down as history as the first mainstream artist to inscribe stuff. I don't want to get into exactly what it could be, but just know that Shizzy and I, how our minds work, so just take it from there.
Yeah, we saw this as an opportunity, and we didn't want this opportunity to get into the wrong hands of people who are trying to extract. So we jumped on this, and obviously, we're making some pennies from it. But at the same time, we're going to do our best to make sure it's good for ordinals because we without good people, that we don't have a good space. I say it all the time. And if they're communicating with French and his team a few times, they really seem to really want to embrace this, and they're not here for liquidity. Basically, they're not trying to extract liquidity. They're really just trying to be a part of something. And this is really good for French. Like, with his album just dropping his collection, getting 40,000 comments on Or.io, it's just like, it's really good for him, his name, his brand, because it definitely seems he's trying to like get away from that gangster type feel and kind of really get into the business mindset. Like he said that like he stopped drinking and smoking and doing perks and stuff. Now
you can see that. You can see that. You can see that on Breakfast Club. But
yeah, he basically says like, when he sits across from a billionaire and that billionaire's smoking or drinking, he's richer than that guy. Well, will be richer than that guy, because that's just the mindset that he has right now. And he's I don't know, he seems like a really cool person, and I really think he's here for all the good reasons. Like I said, he's given back first, and there is something later, but we really think that is really cool. And we potentially can get Merlin involved too, to get you guys some Merlin airdrops. So we're all working stuff in the background here. Like I said, we're doing this all for the community, all for you guys, and in the end, we're all going to win. So
yeah, our OG pass holders, just stay tuned, because we'll update you guys because you're definitely going to have a big part of it. So.
If you are an OG pass holder, you definitely will have big parts of this, guys. We're not messing around when we say do not sell these damn passes. Not financial advice. You want to take the money? Do take the money. I mean, it was a free gift to a lot of you guys. Some of you guys paid for it, but we're gonna give these things so much value that the price point right now is foolish to dump these things. But
foolish.
All right, and you're not foolish enough.
Right.
You're not foolish enough to dump those passes. But yeah.
All right. Let's get to this next topic here.
Yeah.
Will BRC20s have a breakout? Guys, like I'm so me, still same OG, but a bit low key. Like I've always been like big on the fungibles, and it's been kind of disheartening to see, the BRC20s really just take a back seat to the ordinals, right? Except for Voya. Now that's a separate situation, because Voya, launched on Merlin and Bitcoin's native layer. But like the traditional BRC20 market, man, it's been a little bit depressing, because there's moments where you're like, oh, Ordi's about to break out. I think it got to $94 yesterday when Bitcoin was kind of crazy. But it's almost kind of like, is it because Bitcoin's price? It's almost like Bitcoin's price is the one that's really like pushing it up, not the encouraged buyers, right? There isn't like buy pressure coming in. What do you think's happening? Do you think people are like, you know what, we're tired of BRC20s for now, we want to wait till runes? Or it's just what I mean, like I can't really make sense of it. What do you think?
So right now I feel like BRC20s are there's a lot of bag holders right now. I think it BRC20s. I think that a lot of people got in at the top and are really annoyed that the price isn't going back up. And I think that once we get to a certain number, a lot of people get back out. So that's why we see these big drives up and these big dips down. That's why you see like Ordi go to 95 and then back down to, I want to say 70 now, right?
No, it's not at 70, but it let me see.
It's close, right?
It was at like 8. No, it was at like 80 something, but it got all the way to like 94 yesterday. It's at 83.57.
Yeah. But I think that's why you kind of see these big ups and downs. But for me personally, my opinion is I like the new shiny BRC20s. I don't like the old stuff. I won't be getting into any of the older tokens. I'm more of what's next. I'll be getting into the next BRC20. I want the I want the Voyas. I want what the next type of stuff. I want the coins that are going to be on Merlin as well. I think the BRC20s that are on Merlin are definitely something that I'm going to be picking up and I want to play with. I'm a guy who likes to get new toys every couple of weeks. Done with my old toys. And try to do that, because I like taking things from small market caps and taking them big. A lot of these bigger market cap tokens will take just millions and millions of dollars to double, while some of these newer tokens like Voya did just took like a few million to double. So
yeah, well, I think that's kind of not true right now with you though, because you're not looking for new BRC20s, at least not on the native Bitcoin layer side. You know what I'm saying?
12-bit smileys.
Yeah, that's not BRC20.
Yeah, it is. It's a BRC20. Well, the token you get from the bit smileys is the governance token for the bit smiley.
Okay,
so I'm chasing that.
That's a bit different. So that's like 2 levels deep into it. That's about 2 levels deep into it.
I only bought it for the BRC20.
Yeah. What's another one though that you've been looking at?
Voya.
Exactly. Basically, my point is you're not
There's
going to
nothing
Unisat.
else on
That's what I'm
Merlin.
saying. Like, well, there's like stuff on Unisat. We do the BRC20 market update every Wednesday and Sunday, and
Yeah,
I
you're
see
right.
we see new stuff, and we're just like, I mean, I'll admit it. Like, I'm with you in this
Yeah.
mentality because I think you're not as interested, and I'm not either. Even me, that's like because I
Yeah.
see something like Jago, and I'm like, no one's talking about it. No,
Yeah.
nothing's happening. And like the new stuff that's like on native right now isn't as attractive, and I think it's because the overall energy of that ecosystem
Yeah.
right now isn't there. It's not there.
Yep.
So
100%. Do you want to just give a rundown of Unisat and kind of just take a look?
yeah, let's
Now
do it.
we have kind of more time on our hands. I think I'm definitely gonna start digging in more into this type of stuff. So cuckoo for hoo.
I mean, like PIIE, like, so that's something that's been around for a
Yeah.
while. I feel like a lot of these are like Chinese tokens, though. The ones that we don't hear a lot about on our timeline, I think they're being talked about on like Chinese timelines or something, right?
Yeah.
So,
You might be right. Yeah.
so PIIE is an inscription tool. I can pull this up over here. We're doing a little live research right now. PIIE is a meme token. Oh, so it's not a tool. A meme token created on the Bitcoin blockchain using BRC20 protocol involved from the world-renowned IP of Pi, like the math, character there. So that's number one right now. In terms of, I guess, like volume on 24. Then you have pups. Do you see what I'm saying though? Like, I thought that was
Yeah.
going to be more than that, and there's nothing there. Pups. Here we go. Is the first real meme coin on Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So this one's like, I guess this one's like
another
associated with the puppets is what it
The
looks like.
puppets are just running shit right now. You can't have anything without a puppet in it right now, dude.
Yeah. But let's go here. So this one I do know is in the Merlin seal. So AINN, and it says layer 2, the innovative BTC layer 2 solution crafted with a focus on AI driven modular construction. So okay, that's one that is definitely worth I believe like diving deeper into.
Yeah.
But it also we kind of knew that it had something special going on with it because it was accepted into the Merlin seal, right? So
Yeah, it definitely had some type of Chinese connection, or whatsoever. Like, what I mean, Jeff's bullish on it. I don't think Jeff's gonna let anything. He's not like confident into the seal. So
exactly. So yeah, other than that, if we're looking for some household names, you're not going to really see much in the like. I mean, let's talk about here top 23. PIIN, that's also another Chinese token. It's there at number 4, but we recognize that one. Rats comes in at number 10 for the next one we recognize. Rats has been on a freaking terror lately, though.
really,
Yeah,
I guess
like
I'm missing out.
$500 million market cap around there. It was at 550 this morning. So Rats definitely picked back up. I mean, Ordi is number 13, dude. You know what I mean?
In volume, though, in volume.
Which is worse.
Yeah,
like,
I guess it is.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it shouldn't be that low. And then you have Track right below it, and Track is at like $4.88, which I don't know. I'm convinced until like everything breaks out and people are throwing money at each other like mud, like throwing mud at each other. It's like or like having a food fight with money. That's whenever I think Track
Food
really
fight
breaks.
with
Like
money.
the way that they're just like throwing money around. I don't know. That's a horrible analogy. I know.
Yeah.
Our comparison, but like Track.
Real quick, my bad. Shout out Danny boy. When we get the super chats, we stop what we're saying and give a thank you, man. Danny, man, you both from our store. You do everything for us, man. Please, man. Yo, shout out Danny. Shout out Danny boy. He's a hero.
Shout out Danny. Definitely one of our OGs. Track, yeah. So back to Track. Like, I feel like until that's happening, till people are just like don't understand or they forgot the value of money, that's when I think Track gets to that $25-$30 mark. Because I mean, it literally gets pulled back every time it wants to like take off and catapult. Like, it'll get to like $7. It had every reason to get past like $7 because everything was being locked up for the karma drop, for tap drop, for, you know, all these things. And it got to like 750, and then immediately the day after, like the snapshot, it jumped back to 5 something. But it also doesn't go in the other direction as well. So it's kind of like a safe play, right? So it's like it stays in this $4.75 to $5.50 range until something crazy happens, and then that's whenever it like starts to move up and does some you know, crazy stuff. But then it always gets pulled back in. So we'll kind of see. Ghosty is one. Ghosty's one that like it kind of acts like track now, right? Like to where it like it will get a little bit out of range and then pulled right back. But I think people are starting to get more and more bullish on Ghosty because it has that you know, utility, and it solves a pain point. We were talking about using Ghosty possibly earlier today, right? To move some money around and stuff like that. So there's that. But yeah, so all in all, I mean, I feel like the energy is not there. But you know, every time people doubt BRC20s, I want to doubt them more and more, because I know the more I doubt them, the more that it's just gonna punch me in the face and be like, "Ooh, takes off."
Yeah, exactly. But I'm definitely. I think the next BRC20s will be the ones that will be I guess you would say made in Merlin and then bridged back to layer 1. I think there's, like Jeff said, there's a lot of dApps coming, and I think a lot of them are going to be BRC20 based tokens, and I think that you're going to be able to bridge back and forth with them and do obviously smart contracts with them over on the Merlin side, and they're the ones that I'm looking at. Now that, you know, we're full-time Ordinal Revolution, we're gonna have a lot of time to do a lot more research, and like I'm gonna be really digging into seeing what's going on. Once I even hear a glimpse of a product's name, I'm gonna be all over it, guys. And then if you're a member of ours, I'm gonna make sure you guys get every single piece of knowledge that I have. Guys, being a member now has never been better, because me and Yagobi are finally officially full-time you know, employees of Ordinal Revolution, and which is pretty freaking awesome to say. We work for Ordinal Revolution full time, guys. But like I was saying, it's never been a better time to be a member, because the alpha videos are going to be coming harder, and they're going to be coming quicker. The second I get a hint at alpha and I'm confident in it, I'm bringing you guys a video. So you might get videos right from me, for myself, and yo guys, found something crazy, take a look at it, and then boom, 30-second video. But that kind of gets you guys able to research it while I'm doing the research. And if I find something and you find something, we find something together, and then we'll bring it here for you guys as well.
Yeah, 100%, man. And by the way, we will be attending at NFT NYC. So if you're up there, happen to be up there, I'd love to meet you guys. You know, we love the community, and you know, definitely want to take some pictures, and we're gonna have a blast up there, guys. You know, this is the beginning. This is the start. You know, you remember the what's his name? Children's children. Like we're about to have our Valhalla speech, you know, happening and stuff. But shout out to Kai Effect with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you, sir.
Kai, man, you've been supporting us, man, from the beginning, bro. We appreciate you so much, buddy. Thank you so much. Congratulations on full time. Yeah, man. Yes, sir. Thank you, Whammy Yam. Yeah, we would be we've been talking about this moment. Wendy Yam. Sorry, what did I say?
Wendy Yam. Thank you, ma'am.
But yeah, so we've been talking about this for over a year, guys, and we finally able to do it. You know, Node Monkeys kind of did it for us. But
yeah, for sure. But, yeah, for show. All right, what we got? We got any questions in the chat?
Yeah, throw your questions in the chat, guys. I did ask a question earlier. How many runes that people got? Shout out John the Collector. Yo, this man is out here collecting, bro. His name is no gimmick. My man is out here grinding. He's got 8, bro. 8 Runestones coming.
Let's go. That's another thing too. I feel like people are gonna show off their Runestones because they'll be like,
I know,
yo, I'm an OG. I'm an OG in the space.
I know, that's an OG. You got 8 of them. Your OG is crap, bro. You're a legend. Yo, shout out John the Collector, man, out here grinding. For sure. I had 11 wallets, but only 7 of them were eligible.
Qualified.
Yeah. So we got Stripes. Shout out Stripes, man. Stripe he's a part of the OSD community. He's always in there. He's a
shout out Boost. Shout out OSD. Shout out Bean.
Yep. And then they got Hex Space Diamond, Lieutenant Dan. He said he got 5 on the way. Lieutenant Dan
Let's
out
go.
here with no legs out
Yeah,
here rolling with it.
Definitely OG. There was a here's a question.
Okay.
Jabobble.
Jababble.
Hey guys,
Jababble.
are you going to be digging into CBRC20s and the upcoming Moto swap? So, okay, so we've been in the space for a minute, and so we know that the team behind that. We've actually had Danny on our show whenever he was a part of the Oshi team, and I think we haven't done a fair job
He was
on covering.
Archimedes, right?
Yeah, Archimedes before, and then so they basically that Oshi team split up. I don't want to get deep into the details because we don't know all the details, but we just know like Merlin was one of the starters of Oshi, and then yeah, Danny, and then Junk Food went and went and did their own thing, and and it's not that we don't want to cover CBRC20. I actually cover them every morning in my market updates for the market caps. But it's just there was so much stuff happening, and then like the way that Oshi kind of split up, we were just like, okay, let's give it some time. We'll reassess and look into it again. But I will say, I got to give Danny some props because I did see him on video at ETH Denver, and there were some people that came back. CB Spears was on that panel with them, and they were going back and forth talking about Moto Swap, and Junk Food he's been really cool. Cyborg, messaged me. I think he sent me a CBRC20 Ordinal. So those guys have been really cool, and it's something I think that deserves a little bit more research, and we're going to do that, or I'll do that on my side. But we haven't dove deep into it, other than the basics of it, allowing you to kind of have multi functions in one inscription, like deploying and minting at the same time, or minting and setting the transfer inscription and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens. I mean, from what people are saying, this Moto swap, you're going to be able to add liquidity. I don't know how that's going to happen, but we'll kind of look further into it. I hope that answers your questions.
Yeah, and like again, I don't want to keep saying this, but now that we're full time, we're definitely gonna have more time to jump into things like this. And I'm gonna reach out to Danny. Now that I realize he's Archimedes, but reach out to him and get him. We'll get him on the show. And if you guys are a part of that community, please have him reach out to us. The best way, the faster we can reach out, the faster we can talk about this and get him on the show, because it would be really cool to do a really full episode on this and kind of go from. I would love to go from what happened to Oshi. I know they're probably not going to talk about it, but I think that would be really amazing to hear their side of the story to get us where we're at with CRBC. I think it'll really allow me to get bullish on it. So we definitely have to bring someone from that team on the show, because that would be very interesting.
Yep, for sure. All right, thoughts about SRC20s and stamps. Okay, so I think the biggest pro out of SRC20s and stamps is their argument of it not being printable. Let's get something straight. Like Ordinals and BRC20s, they're here to stay, guys. Like if a certain node is going to try to prune these, then that node's going to be highlighted as a censor, taking part of censorship. As well as it would just never really catch, in my opinion. Plus, miners are they're pro, ordinals and BRC20s because of the volume. Let's be real. There's actually the mining stocks are not like taking off like Bitcoin. Why? Because there's a lot of big investors that they in the TradFi world, they don't care about like crypto's going crazy or Bitcoin's going crazy. What they care about is future earnings, and they're seeing the halving coming up, and they realize that like their earnings are going to get cut in half. And a lot of these mining companies are actually they purchased a lot of equipment the past 6 months because they know that the halving's coming up, because they want to be able to mine more, right? Yeah. To kind of make up for that. Now, with that being said, I think that's why miners are very, very pro Ordinals, pro BRC20s. But to answer your questions about SRC20s, my answer is SRC20s and stamps. I think it's cool. It from a technical perspective, it's non-prunable, but it just hasn't got the market's attention, and I don't know what it will take for them to do that. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not bullish enough. I don't know. I can't. It's not fair. It's not fair. Let me, now that I keep saying it, now that I'm full time, I'm going to take a deep dive into stamps, and I don't want to give you guys an uneducated opinion. I want to actually do right by these guys and actually dig in and kind of see what's going on with it. So give me a few weeks. We're going to come back to this question, and I'll give you a really educated opinion, and I'll probably reach out to someone from the stance community, have them on as well to kind of maybe answer some questions that I'll have after doing a lot of research. But is that a good way to answer it?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fair.
Yeah.
But here's one thing: it's kind of like atomicals. Like, it's weird. Like, you'll all of a sudden have like a centralized exchange say, "Hey, we're gonna support SRC20s and stamps," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"What? Like, where? Like, what?" Okay, and then all of a sudden, like, the same thing happens with atomicals and ARC20s. But then, like, they'll be quiet, for a while, and then some of them. At the end of the day, like, we support all things that are good for Bitcoin and Bitcoin's ecosystem, and so, hey, we'll look into them and determine, what we find in our research.
Yeah, definitely give us time. We'll definitely start jumping into the stuff and reaching out to some of these community members. Maybe have someone on the show to kind of really walk us through. And if you guys know anybody, have them reach out to us. And yeah, shout out this guy. Shout out Mr. AOD Art. Always supporting us, man. Huge fan of yours as well, sir. He said, glad you guys are full time. You can finally get to work. Get to work. We're gonna get to work. We're gonna work harder than we ever worked in our entire lives. So you guys are gonna be the beneficiaries of our hard work. So especially the members. But yeah.
Yep. Man, we pretty much cleaned out all of our topics we were gonna go over today.
Yeah.
So, and that barely pushes us over the hour.
Yeah. Should we end it here? You want to go? Should we answer some questions? You want to go a little longer? Or what do you want to do?
I think we kind of hit all the questions here.
Okay.
Let's see this. John the Collector. I've been seeing a lot of runes this, runes that. How are you guys approaching this new landscape of projects? You want to start off with that?
Yeah. So Rune 0 is the only one that I'm really bullish on. Obviously, I'm just kind of, I mean, it's so hard to say because like we're so far away still. We're still about 45 days away from having, I want to say. And you just don't know. I'm gonna play it by ear those days. I'm gonna put in like 80-hour days, 40-hour, 24-hour days when that drops, and kind of really get educated on everything. And yeah, so it's hard to say. I don't know enough right now to really dig. I mean, no one knows enough. I mean, Casey is still in the programming stage, but I would love to know your opinion on that, sir. You're in? What's this?
Leonidas posted. Yeah, Leonidas posted this. Sorry, I think I got disconnected somehow. But he posted this, and it says the goal for Runestone is simple: create the top meme coin in the world.
Oh no!
On top, what's up?
I hate the word meme coin.
Oh yeah, on top of the block, on the top blockchain of the world. I don't know why I can't read, but basically, what that kind of like to me, even though like it's a meme coin, he's like basically saying like, okay, we want this to be a bigger market cap than Sheep. We want to create like the one that goes against Sheep, and I think that's okay. You know what I mean? Like he already said from that start that this is not going to be something that has like a robust utility behind it or anything crazy like that. But that one, I'm actually really bullish on Runestone in terms of the token. Casey's 0.
Are you holding yours to maturity? Your Runestones?
No, I mean, so there's two plays for me, right? I'm not gonna mess with the ones I got, like the ones I get airdropped, but I'm gonna have a strategy to be able to flip some of the ones that come in, just because like it should be too easy. Like, I mean, obviously you say that, and then when it happens, it's not. But I just think there's too much of an opportunity to be able to flip these, because it's like it's like clockwork. You just come in, you see the pullback after the run up, you acquire, and then you let it run up 2, 3, 4, 5x from there. You take your profit, and you're happy, and then you keep your moon bag or whatever.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. And we have a Shizzy help sign. What do you need help with, bud? I don't know what that's about, but yeah. All right. I think we're good here, right?
Yeah, I think we covered everything, man. It was,
All right,
a
guys.
good first afternoon live.
Yeah, man, and we're gonna get you guys more of these. We're trying to figure out what our weeks look like in the past. This week's going to be a little weird. We're still going to go live Thursday night. Would that still work for you?
Yep.
So our next live will be Thursday night, and we're gonna next week will be a little different. We'll play it by ear, but eventually we're gonna have a lockdown slot, and I think that will give us a lot more people that'll be tuning in because me as a big YouTube watcher. I need that consistency, and we're gonna give you guys that consistency once we lock in the best time for us and the best time for you. So we will see you guys very soon. Check out our weekly update tomorrow. We might have a very, very special guest on tomorrow. So check that out as well. But yeah, that's it, guys.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.